Hey everyone, Marlon Marisha here from Web Design Profits, and today I want to talk to you about choosing a niche for your web design business and the importance of choosing a niche especially when you're growing and you're trying to scale your business. In our Facebook group, The Profitable Web Designer, I asked the question is, which niche are you in, or do you even have a niche? And two people responded as part of that post, and they said that was Chaber and Trent. And Chaber and Trent, this video is for you. You both responded. One said, well, I don't have a niche. And the other one said, well, I found myself building boutique websites for women's clothing stores. And is that a niche? Well, I think it is. And so let's talk about the reasons why you want a niche if you want to scale and grow your business. The first reason is because of marketing. And if you want to grow your business, it's so much easier to market to a niche. Think about this. On Facebook, if you want to advertise on Facebook, it's always good to promote your business to one person with one problem and give them one solution, right? The problem is when you build websites for everybody, you can't do that. So typically your advertising is going to be, hey, do you want a website? I can help you build a website. And that's not a great message to put on Facebook. People will just scroll past that and they're like, nah, who cares? There's so much advertising on Facebook. But if you said, do you own a martial arts studio? We can build a website that will give you more leads every single month that you can convert into high-paying clients. Now that message to that martial arts studio owner will go straight into the heart for him. Like, there's not a lot of people speaking directly to martial arts studios, and there's not a lot of people speaking directly to the problem that they have, as that is more leads. And so it's super important if you're building websites, you want to grow and scale your business, that you can create a message to one person with one problem and offer them a solution that they're actually looking for. And when you build all things for all people, you can't do this. And so that's the first reason why you want to pick a niche, because your marketing is more laser targeted. You can speak to pain points. And that is the next reason why you want to focus on a niche. And that is, you can speak directly to someone's pain point. There's a great saying that I quote almost every day of my life by a psychologist called Wyatt Woodsmall. And he said, if you can articulate someone's problem better than they can, they'll automatically and unconsciously credit you with having the solution. And as a web designer, when you're sitting with your client, the whole idea is to extract their problems out of them and then feed those problems back and say, well, this problem can be solved with this prescription that I have, this feature. This problem can be solved with this feature. And if you niche down, you'll get so good at describing problems and understanding the problems that that niche has, that after a while, you'll speak their language. You'll actually describe the problem better than they can, and they will automatically and unconsciously credit you with having the solution. Now, you don't get that opportunity when one day you're working for a plumber and the next day for a lawyer and the next day for a builder. You don't get that opportunity to shine and to really speak the language and the problem of your prospect. And that's the second reason. Selling, no matter which business, it's all about problems, solving problems. So get to know the problems intimately that your prospects are having, and they will think that you have the solution. So the next reason why is because of delivery. So it's in your best interest to niche because you can deliver a solution much faster. So, if you're building a solution for a plumber and then a builder and a solicitor, then, someone else the next week, every time you have to reinvent the wheel. Every time it's like, what's the new problem? What's the new feature? What's the new way it should look? But when you can build the same website over and over again with a different flavor for each client, you'll get very, very efficient. And that's why I have become very efficient in my business, because I solve the same problem every time. And so although it can look different, these clients that I have all have the same problem, and so I just give them the same solution with a different, paint a coat over the top. And that is how you grow the business. So you can see that these reasons I'm giving you are for you. The reason you want to pick a niche is so you can pinpoint your marketing. The reason you want to pick a niche is so you can understand the pain points. And the third reason is the reason you want to pick a niche is so you can deliver much faster. And then the last reason, there's more, but let's just talk about this one, the last one, is a world-class solution. You want to give your clients a world-class solution. And I think that when you want to increase your pricing, you can't just deliver an average website. You have to deliver something that is actually world-class. And you don't get the opportunity to deliver a world-class solution when every time you build a website, it's different with a different problem and a different client and a different look. And so it's kind of wrapped up with delivery, but you've got to understand that if you want to raise your prices, people aren't silly, right? People aren't naive in business, especially business owners. If you want to raise your price, you have to give them something that they perceive value in. And when you deliver the same website over and over again, that's actually not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing for your client because it shows that you've solved this problem before. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say to me, but Marlon, if I do this, then I'm cutting out 99% of the market. And I can't afford to do that because I need work and I can't shrink my market and then expect to get work. I actually think that's a really negative way to look at it. I think that's a mentality that says there's not enough in the world. There is actually enough. You know, with me, I coach other web designers to grow their business. I basically make competitors for my business. I have a website design company called the Sales Room Website. We do very well. And what I learn in that, I teach to my students. Why do I do that? Do you know why? Because I have an abundance mentality. I think it doesn't matter how many other competitors I create, there's enough work for all of us. And whether I do it or not, people are coming into the market every day. And you know what? There's enough work for you. There's enough work for me if we are at the top, okay? And so don't have a mentality where there's not enough. Have a mentality where there's enough. Now, let me tell you some practicalities around there being enough. There actually is. It's not just a saying. It's not just a slogan, right? If you think about this, a lot of web designers focus on their local area, okay? So I do web design in my area, a 50, 60, 70 kilometer radius around it. I don't do that. I live in Australia, and most of my client base is in the US. I have an abundance mentality because the world is my marketplace. And so I have clients in Australia, but I have a lot more clients in the US. And if you're in the US, well, don't just work with your local area. With Zoom and online, apps, you can work with clients in the rest of your state, in all the 50 states of the US, into Canada. You can go to the UK, and you can even come to little old Australia where I am. So really see the world as your oyster, because at the end of the day, there are, 7.5 billion people on the planet. There are millions upon millions upon millions of businesses. You don't have to just work with businesses in your local area. So I do agree. If you just work with plumbers in your local area, yes, you shrink the market. Now you have a very finite amount of people you can deal with. And yes, go for everybody, but I don't think that's smart. I think the smart way of doing it is to say, I deal with plumbers. I have a world-class solution. I know how to speak directly to them, to their pain points, and I know how to find them, and I can deal with them no matter what state they're in, no matter what country they're in. Does that make sense? And so that's why I really believe that picking a niche is actually a good thing. It's actually something that'll scale your business, not suppress your business. So try and get out of the mindset of there's not enough. Try and get out of the mindset of I don't want to shrink my market. You actually become a big fish in a smaller pond. It's no good being a small fish in a massive pond. You kind of want to make your claim, make your mark. And so my encouragement to you is to find a niche. Now let me say one more thing about niche. You don't have to base your niche based on a industry. So actually with my website business, the sales-driven website, I actually don't base my niche on an industry. I base it on the outcome. So what I do is I help service-based businesses generate leads through their website and convert them into clients. So think about that. So I can deal with an attorney, with a builder. They need leads, service-based business, with an accountant, with a consultant, with a business coach, with a software developer. I can deal with all those people. I don't define my niche by who they are and what industry they're in. I define it by the outcome that they want. So I don't deal with e-commerce sites. I don't deal with gyms, those kind of businesses. It's normally professional services. And I have a solution that is world class. For these businesses, I kind of build the same site for every single one of them with the same feature set. Now the look and the paint on the front of it looks different. And the copy, yes, is different. But what I do is I say to my client when they deal with me, what's the outcome you want? Do you need leads in a professional services-based business that need to convert into a high-ticket sale? Well, that's what I specialize in, okay? And so you can think out of the box. It's really about speaking to the client's needs, not by doing a formula that some online marketer has told you have to do. A lot of you have probably heard, you got to niche down. You've got to go to plumbers. You've got to go to healthcare professionals or physios or chiropractors or doctors. You've got to do that. Well, I actually wouldn't go for any of those industries personally, because a lot of them have been overrun with people focusing on them. So what I've done is I've twisted it a bit. I think there's some really good industries out there, but I really believe that take your background and your knowledge and use that. So my background was in generating leads in professional services industry with high ticket sales. So now I build websites for that. Okay, so I hope that works. I hope that last bit didn't confuse you. I hope it really made sense to you. And I want to encourage you, in the comments below, type in your questions about niche. I know I threw a bit of a red herring at the end there about the way I do it. Ask questions. Ask, do you think it's a good niche, Marlon? Do you think it'll work? Let's get chatting and try to work a few of these things out. Don't worry about people copying you. You know what I always say about business owners who don't say anything and don't share their ideas because they think people will copy? You know what I say? I say, most people don't think you're as smart as they are. Most people don't think your ideas are half as good as their ideas. And most people are too busy trying to run their race than to copy you and run your race. So in the Facebook group, the Profitable Web Designer, come in, type in the niches you're going after. We'll help you. We'll help you try and get there and get to the end. So if you do want to join that group of smart web designers growing and scaling their businesses, go to Facebook, type in the Profitable Web Designer, join the group, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Bye.